One of the things I do for self-care is I reflect at the end of each day, and I find something I had no control over to be thankful for. And it really helps calm and offer a peace to me, and it's something I set an example for my children to learn from, and it's just a feel-good moment.
One of the ways I prioritize self-care for myself is every day sleep is my #1 priority. So if that knocks something else off my schedule, sleep is always going to trump whatever else is on my schedule.
So something I've discovered recently that I really enjoy doing for self-care is the game of pickleball. If you haven't tried it yet, I recommend doing it. It's a very non-competitive, fun thing to do to get out some energy and take care of yourself.
What I do for self-care is I surf. Started surfing when I was about 11 years old, and I knew all the way through my life, my young adult life, that when I went surfing, I always felt better afterwards. I felt lighter, I felt less stressed. Even into my adult years, the same thing. I could go out surfing and it felt like I left all my problems on the beach, and 2 hours in the water and I came back and I just felt rejuvenated. What I found later on in life, I ended up actually getting sober. And 17 years later in sobriety, what I've noticed now is when I surf, it's my time of meditation, it's my time of peace, it's my time to connect with nature, it's my time to raise my awareness. And it's just, I mean, I get goosebumps even talking about it, because it's absolutely the one thing in my life that resets me every single time, no matter what's going on in my life. And I'm just eternally grateful for it. It's something that I never would have realized what it did to me until I had the chance to get sober, honestly. So, thanks.
So one of the few things that I do when it comes to self-care on a daily basis, I do try to take time to get rid of my electronics. So no TV, no phone, nothing like that. And I give myself roughly about an hour just to reflect about what I have going on in my life, things going on at work and with my family. If anything gets too big for me, typically you can find me at the spa. So, you know, manicure, pedicures, massages, facial, just trying to show yourself that love that you need if you're not getting it from anywhere else.
So my favorite self-care methods, I guess I would have to say, which I probably could work on a little bit. I think maybe, not to speak for other people in this industry, but I think we could all probably do a little bit better job taking care of ourselves. But my primary one is, I would have to say, is playing with my kids. I have two young sons, 10 and 8, and they both absolutely love baseball. And there's probably not a day that goes by that we don't throw the baseball outside for quite some time. So that's definitely like #1. Present with them, spending time with them, really warms my heart. The other thing would be going for runs. So I really enjoy going for long runs, and that's just a really good way for me to just kind of like clear my head. Just focus on me and what's going on, and just kind of, look at the scenery around and things like that. And it's hard for me to be stressed out when I'm running. So that's my self-care methods.
So I think self-care is very important for all of us. Some of the things I like to do is to get into a self-care routine. I work out 4 to 5 days a week. I try to get outdoors most days. I get regular massages, get my nails done, get my toes done. Just anything to kind of help me de-stress and take myself out of my head.
So what I do for self-care is exercise. I usually walk about 5 miles a day. I also swim when I can, and I like to hike if I can get that. And I like to go to some of the national parks, just be in the nature. It's really a very calming way. It's almost like a way of meditating, and really makes your whole day go better.
So what I do for self-care is I have a mindful 10 minutes when I first wake up in the morning. I don't even need to sit up. I just lay down and listen to one of the meditations, and really helps center myself for the rest of the day. And I just feel much better when I do it. And I can notice when I don't do it, I don't feel as great.
So one thing I do for self-care for myself on a daily basis is I go to the gym, do some cardio, lift some weights. It just helps me feel better at the end of the day.
Thinking what it is.
I already know mine.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. My favorite self-care routine is hiring a personal trainer. I'm blessed to be able to do that because I won't show up to the gym for myself. I won't work out by myself. I'm in a recovery phase in my health where I will push myself too hard if I go on my own. So I was blessed. I found Eileen, who's a MMA fighter, who I'm working with, shows up at my house, and she puts me through the strangest routine. She changes it up. It's not just lifting weights. It's not just a cart, a treadmill. It's bear crawls and ape walks and planks with kettlebells, and she mixes it up and makes it fun and makes me answerable to somebody showing at my door that's going to make me work out. So right now, that's my favorite self-care, is just making sure I have somebody answerable to that's going to make me work out. And I'm lucky to be in the setting that I am, that I can do that.
My favorite self-care does not sound anything like that. My self-care would be walking. I'm just walking outside and being in nature. I run from bear crawls. I run from planks. I run from anything that looks like it might cause sweating. But walking is super fun, and I really like to it's kind of a form of meditation for me. I may run once in a while, but let's not hold me to it. But yeah, I would say that's my favorite. Alone, also alone, very alone, no kids.
So one of the things I like to do for self-care these days is get up and go on a walk at about 7:30 a.m. It's great, it's refreshing, get some good oxygen, see the sky, and really just kind of get outside and really kind of wind away from all that life all the challenges that life has to bring you.
One of the things that I enjoy doing for self-care is going to the gym and working out. I really, really enjoy taking classes with other folks around. I feel like that challenges me, but just getting those good endorphins moving, whether it's weightlifting or spinning, I just feel that just adds some vibrancy to my day, and just overall makes me feel good. And so that's something that I do look forward to doing every day.
So what I do for self-care is I play a lot of golf. Kind of gets a lot of the daily frustrations out, chasing a little white ball, and umpire baseball for youth and college. So that kind of helps with the day-to-day.
One thing that I do for myself for self-care on a daily basis is in the morning time, I wake up early before everyone else in my house is awake, just the animals and myself. And I have my workout drink. I work out and walk my dog and listen to music and enjoy my coffee. And that is a great way to start my day and get some me time.
Something that I do for self-care is work out, play NBA 2K22, and hang out with my son.
One thing that I do for self-care is wake up super early, sometimes between 5 and 6 a.m. before the rest of my house is awake, and enjoy a cup of coffee by myself, read my book, and just enjoy that time alone.
So what I do for self-care is I get together with a very close friend, and it's easy to be with them, and we just laugh. Like, laughter is the best medicine.
Two things I like to do for self-care is, one, I really like to use adult coloring books because it gives me some time to just relax, focus on something other than what has stressed me throughout the day. And then the other thing I like to do is take my dog on a walk because it gives me some exercise and some vitamin D and just out in the fresh air. And I just feel so much better being productive and relaxed when I come back home.
Hey, one thing that I do for self-care is I love to listen to music. I have a 40-minute commute each way to work and home, and I've just turned that into fun time for me. I just like to rock out. And sometimes my fellow commuters will see me having a good time in the car, and it makes their morning or their afternoon. So I just love to feel the music, and when I get home, sometimes if the sun's still shining, I love to just sit out in the sun and let it hit my face. And that's a lot of the things that I do that just helps me relax and take care of myself.
One thing that I do on a daily basis for my self-care is I start my day with reading my Bible.
Actually, I've listened to my Bible. I have a Bible app and I listen to it. And once I finish doing that, I have these positive daily affirmations that I say, that I speak, because I believe what the Bible says about the power of life and death are in your tongue. So I think it's very important to speak positive things over yourself and to yourself.
So what I do for self-care is meditation. I enjoy working with God's stones and his crystals, and I like to learn a little bit more about those properties of the crystals and to meditate to them for the energy and just the relaxation and to enjoy the natural wonders of our earth.
Oh, you might be different from
Whoever wants to go first.
One thing I do for self-care is I take Pilates classes, and it's something I started about 11 years ago, and I do it about 3 or 4 times a week, and it's really become something that I depend on each week as a stress reliever, and just makes me feel good.
Yeah, one thing I do for self-care, like you, is work out. Work out a lot. I need the sweat. I need it for anxiety release. I need it for stress release, and I don't know what I would do without it. That, and I try to sleep, which I don't always get.
And we both shop for shoes.
We do. That's a stress reliever too. And we have each other, so that's a stress reliever as well.
Right. One thing I do for self-care is spend the day at the beach.
So one thing I do for self-care is I walk my boxer, Dale. He loves to go outside and walk, and he loves to play with squirrels and chase animals, and it's just something that really relaxes me and calms me down.
So what I do for self-care is I take long morning showers, I light a candle, and just kind of take that time to meditate. I do massages from time to time, but that's my daily self-care, kind of pull myself together, is that long shower.
So what I do for self-care is dedicated time to exercise. And over the last few months, I've trained my body. Again, you have to train yourself to get up extra early. Get up before the sunrise. Sit outside and watch the sunrise in the morning. It's beautiful. It's peaceful. Most of the time, you'll catch some wildlife outside, perhaps. And most importantly, you might be the only one on the front porch. So for those of you who need a little extra time alone in the morning, drinking your coffee with no one else around, it's a great time. Then you go and exercise for a little bit, getting out in nature, walking. Just in those early mornings, it's beautiful, it's serene, it's often very peaceful. Just getting that morning sunlight is good for the soul. Also, later in the evening, you can tune into shows such as Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It's on Hulu. And just binge watch. Don't tell my husband I do